Uh-oh. This is not going to be good at all. This is my message to response video to Dan Sobel's most recent video. Dan the My Little Pony and Sophia the First fans video. He made an angry message to the Kruger twins, Chase Bowlin, and Andy Ho. Which, that is not right to do. Now, I usually don't do commentary videos anymore, but this one I just had to get off of my chest because what Dan Sobel did about an hour ago is I will not tolerate his shenanigans. Anyways, let's get this video started, shall we?
This is a serious message for the Kruger twins, Christopher Kruger and Nicholas Kruger, Andy Ho, known as Lyric is Awesome, and Chase Bowlin.
They had to cut ties with you for a good reason.
Christopher, Nicholas, Andy Ho, and Chase Bowlin, if you guys are watching this, I have something to say to both of you. You need to stop telling me to not like kid shows like Blue's Clues, The Wiggles, Play Along with Sam, Dora the Explorer, Go Diego Go, Dora and Friends of the City, Blue's Room, Blue's Clues and You, Sesame Street, Barney the Dinosaur, Bob the Builder, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Dale Tiger's Neighborhood, Thomas the Tank Engine, Franklin, Lilith's Pet Shop, and Sophia the First, and many other kid shows I like from my childhood.
For the record, they have every right to bash your opinion on all those shows from your childhood. Although I do like Blue's Clues, Blue's Room, Blue's Clues and You, Sesame Street, Barney, Bob the Builder, and the Wiggles of those shows you mentioned. But other shows I don't really care for. Like, I know for sure I hate Dora the Explorer and Go Diego Go. And I have rights about bashing your opinion on those shows. Okay. Let's keep going.
You know bashing opinions is wrong.
Actually, we can bash your opinion on this one. Not all opinions deserve respect, Dan. Although I do like some kid shows, you need to start acting your own age, Dan Sobel, and stop watching baby shows 24/7. And you need to start watching movies that are for people your own age.
And I'm really getting tired of you bashing my own opinions on kid shows that I like from my childhood.
We can bash opinions anytime we want to. And I had to cut ties with you because Brendan Pippin and Andy Ho told me to. Your behavior is pathetic and unacceptable, Dan Sobel.
And also, you guys need to stop forcing me to like John.
Actually, oh, sorry about that. Let's get you.
Even though I am neutral to John, who is the new Purple Wiggle, when he first joined the Wiggles back in 2021, but still, he's not my favorite Wiggles character. Jeff is my favorite Wiggles character, not John.
Okay, so actually, we have rights to force you to like John. And so did Parker Crispin. Even though I only watched the OG Wiggles when watching the Wiggles. But still, you need to stop ranting on certain stuff you don't like.
And how also dare you bash my opinion on Horrid Henry, Rusty Rivets, and PJ Masks? I have rights to hate those shows.
Actually, we have the rights to bash your opinion on those shows. Although I've never seen seen those 3 shows before. I will have to give those 3 shows a watch at some point, but still, Dan, your behavior will not be tolerated on the internet.
So, Christopher, Nicholas Kruger, Andy Ho, and Chase Bowlin, for doing all this stuff to me, take this middle finger right here, keep it with you, and leave me and my content alone.
Wow, you're at it with the middle finger thing again? Wow, just wow. That is so wrong. You and your content is a piece of crap. And this is why we hate you, Dan Sobel, because what you did was wrong. And another thing, Dan, you need to stop with the middle finger thingy. That is rude. You can't flip people off. We're not doing that middle finger thing in angry message videos anymore. Do you understand? Okay, let's continue.
And stop bashing my opinions on certain shows that I like or dislike.
We have rights about bashing your opinions on shows you like or dislike. Just like I said earlier. Although I do like I said, I did say I do like Blue's Clues and You, Blue's Room, and Barney the Dinosaur, Bob the Builder, and the Wiggles, and Sesame Street. Well, with Wiggles, that is, I only like the OG Wiggles. With Greg, Mary, Jeff, and Anthony. Yeah, but still, you need to grow up for once, Dan. And get a life and move on.
Because I had enough of both of you going after me and troll feeding me 24/7.
They weren't even troll feeding you. They're trying to help you, Dan. And what you're doing is you're just trying to fight them and to prove who's right. Well, you're wrong, Dan. They are right. They're just giving you advice. And what you did back 2 years ago to Devin Osborne, Vinny the social media guy, Jose Crespin, and Lance White was unacceptable. Although I still hate Jose Crespin after what he did to Brendan Pippin and Brandon Horninger. Although most people hate Brandon Horninger, and that's okay with me, yeah. But what you did was not acceptable. You need to stop going after your haters and forcing them to do things your way, but because your way is just pathetic.
If you don't like me, you should just leave me alone and move on with your life. Like how I was going to do.
We would, but your behavior keeps getting worse. After I found out that you've converted yourself to being a pedophile, and I've also heard that you're a zoophile too. Dan, everyone hates you, Dan. And you also need to stop watching Coco Melon. You are too old for Coco Melon. And I don't respect your opinion on Coco Melon.
So just leave me the fuck alone, Kruger twins.
Hey, that's enough with those F-bombs, Dan. That is inappropriate and is not allowed. You really need to start going to church, Dan. I wouldn't have had to cut ties with you if you hadn't caused all this drama, but because what you did, I had to cut ties with you. Let's continue.
Chase Bowlin and Andy Ho, and quit mentioning me in your content.
They have rights about mentioning you in their content. I also have rights to mention you in my content. After what you did. Let's continue.
Just shut up.
You don't tell people to shut up. That's rude.
You guys are the ones who need to grow up, not me.
Actually, Dan, you're the one that needs to grow up. And I agree with the other four, the Kruger twins, Chase Bowlin, and Andy Ho. Anyways, let's continue.
And no, I'm not using autism as an excuse.
Actually, Dan, yeah, you have been using that as an excuse. Although I do have autism as well, I'm not going to use that as an excuse for my behavior either.
I'm telling the truth about autism. I'm telling the truth about it. Because I have a behavioral disability, and you should realize that I have no control over my behavior.
We understand that, Dan, but you need to stop making up excuses. You need to start taking responsibility for your actions at all times. Do I make myself clear, Dan Sobel? The fat man child? Your behavior is not acceptable, and it will not be tolerated here on the internet. Let's continue.
So, do yourself a huge favor, Kruger twins, Chase Bowlin and Andy Ho. Leave me the fuck alone!
Watch your mouth, Dan Sobel. You need to leave them alone.
End of serious message.
Well, thank God that video's over. Wow. Just wow. How pathetic Dan Sobel's behavior was. Will not be tolerated on the internet. Guys, please take the time to watch this reaction video I just did. Thank you.